So in this video, I'm going to be telling you my top 5 favourite maps in Zombies Chronicles. Now, I was going to do a top 5 maps overall, but I've done that twice now. I've done it and then revisited it, so I thought, you know what, I'll just do the Zombies Chronicles maps as it's a new DLC. And I also want to point out this is my first top 5 in ages, so hype for that, I guess. But anyway, let's get into my top 5 favourite maps in Zombies Chronicles. So if this was a list of my top 5 favourite maps in all of Zombies, I'd probably put Kino in the top 5. Now, I'm only doing Zombies Chronicle maps here, and I've got Kino at number 5. The reason for this is because Kino, for me, it's just been ruined in Black Ops 3. I don't know what it is about Kino to Toten. It's just not as good as the original. The original, I think I put it in my top 5 maps, 4th or 5th. I can't honestly remember, but I know I definitely put it in one of my top 5 maps. And it should be there. Kino is a brilliant map. The original map has the Mustang Sallies, and it's just something unique. Maybe nostalgia talking, but something unique about the original Kino to Toten. Now, I'm not sure if it's Gobblegums, I'm not sure if it's the Wonder Fizz, which I feel like that definitely downgrades the map in my opinion, but Kino to Toten just doesn't feel the same. Maybe it's Black Ops 3 weapons, it just doesn't feel the same, and as classic you can't get the MP40 on the wall for some reason, and Kino to Toten for me doesn't feel the greatest. Now, it is better than 3 of the Zombies Chronicle maps in my opinion. Obviously there's 8, this is a top 5 and this comes 5th, but yeah, I don't know what it is about Kino to Toten, it just doesn't feel right with Gobblegums and with the Wonder Fizz and with the Black Ops 3 weapons. It just doesn't suit it, and plus we've had Kino already in Revelations. This might be why, because we've already had a bit of a remastered Kino, basically all of it, because Kino is a pretty small map anyway. So Kino for me coming in at number 5. So coming into our 4th favourite map in Zombies Chronicles, I am going to put Ascension. Now, Ascension is a complete opposite of Kino to Toten in the fact that I prefer the Black Ops 3 version over the Black Ops 1 version. I don't know why this is, I'm not sure. Ascension is probably one of my least played maps, to be 100% honest. I know my least played in Black Ops 1 100% is Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead I never played. I probably played that twice ever, to be 100% honest. But yeah, Ascension, there's not a lot I can really say about this map. It's like that middle map of this list. 4, we've got 4, and then anything under 4, so 5, and then the 3 maps I didn't include, which I will say before I get into my number 1 spot, but I don't want to spoil it now, otherwise you'll know what comes first and you'll know what comes second. But yeah, Ascension's a map, anything behind that is like but then the next 3 positions I like. Ascension's like the middle point where there's nothing bad and nothing good really to say about the map, so Ascension comes in at our number 4 spot. So coming into number 3, and this might be a bit of a surprise to some people, because I know to a lot of people this is their favourite map in Chronicles, and their favourite map in Zombies altogether, to be 100% honest, and you know what I'm talking about as soon as I say that. Coming in at number 3, we have Origins. Now, Origins is a map that, like Ascension, and I'm kind of going off what I said here, I said the other 3, not the opposite of Ascension. They're not but this one is a map, if you want to call it that. This is a map that has got good points, it's got bad points as well, but it's basically the exact same as the old maps. We've got the STG, the MP40, which were definitely the 2 standout weapons on Origins. We've got the staffs back, which is brilliant, and that's one of the key points about Origins. If they didn't bring staffs back, part of me was actually scared they'd put the bows in. I didn't think they would, but if they did that, that would have made it so much more worse. But yeah, the staffs are there. We've got the MP40, which for some reason isn't in the 3 spots it is, it's only in 1. The STG, which is not in 2 spots, it's only in 1 this time for some odd reason. And we've got the Wonder Fizz. Now, the only change about this map, the only big change is Gobblegums. Now, we have got, instead of PhD, we have got a Widow's Wine, but I mean, it's basically the exact same. Besides Widow's Wine, we've got all the same perks. Double Tap's not on the map anymore, it's still in the Wonder Fizz where it was on the original Origins, and this feels the exact same. We've got the Mauser starting pistol on this map as well, so this map feels the exact same, a bit like not Origins rather, a bit like Ascension, where there's not a lot to say about each map. I know I said I've got more to say about the other maps than Ascension, but Origins is pretty similar. The Gobblegums is the only thing that turns it and makes it number 3. If it wasn't for Gobblegums, I think Ascension may slide into the number 2 spot, but the number 2 and number 1 spots, I could say a lot of rude words about these maps in good ways, because the next 2 maps I absolutely adore, but Origins comes in to our number 3 spot. So coming into our number 2 spot, and if you watch any of my live streams, you'll know what comes into my number 1 spot instantly, but what comes into my number 2 spot, we'll go on about number 2, and then we'll go on about the honourable mentions after that. But what comes in to my number 2 spot, I've said that for the 3rd time now, is Moon. Moon, I don't know what it is. The original Moon, I'm going to be 100% honest, I did play it quite a lot. I'd say it's probably my 2nd most played map in Black Ops 1, up there with Kino. Kino's probably my most played, but oh my god, I don't know what it is about Moon. It feels so much better on Black Ops 3. Probably the graphics, to be 100% honest, but Moon is by far, and if it wasn't for the number 1 map, which just looks beautiful, Moon would easily be my number 1 spot. It's got the best playstyle, I think, out of any map in terms of it's got a lot of stuff to do, but it's also quite easy for people who have played it for the first time, and I don't know what it is about Moon. Moon's just a brilliant map in general. It also looks brilliant, like the Biodome from Black Ops 1 and the Biodome from Black Ops 2, they look completely different. Black Ops 1's, in graphics at least, cannot compare at all to any of these remasters, let alone Moon. Moon, I think, is the most changed map in my opinion. The biodome, or the grassy areas. What was that even on Black Ops 1? Did they even have grass? I don't even think they had grass on Black Ops 1's biodome. I'm not even sure, to be 100% honest. I don't think they did. I'll actually put gameplay of the biodome in Black Ops 1 and then the biodome in Black Ops 3 just to feast your eyes on the biodome, because the biodome is the most changed part about this, just straight up. But we've got all the original perks. I mean, we have got Widow's Wine instead of PhD, and I'm going to go on about PhD all the time because I wish it was in the map, but like I said, I'm not too bothered, and also it's better for training. PhD, to me, and I know a lot of people will disagree with this, but it was just a useless perk. It was a fun perk. You could get the Mustang Salads, spray them, you could do all. It was a fun perk to use, a really, really fun perk, and I loved PhD. One of my favourite perks, probably like second or third favourite perk ever, but it was pretty useless in hindsight. And Widow's Wine, although I don't prefer it more than PhD, it's probably more useful in hindsight, and in the end of things, it's probably just all around better perk. But Moon comes in to our number 2 spot. But before we get into our number 1 spot, I want to quickly go on about some honourable mention, because there's some maps here, 3 maps to be exact, that didn't get into our top 5, and all 3 of these maps are the World at War remasters. Nacht and Toten, the reason this wasn't in the top 5, I probably wouldn't put it here anyway, because Nacht I think is a pretty boring map, and it's so many mods on Nacht and Toten, probably the most modded map out of all of the maps. You've had a few re-creations or like Mob of the Dead and maps like that, but Nacht and Toten, there's so many mods on Nacht and Toten. We've got Nacht and Toten in World at War, Nacht and Toten in Black Ops 1, Nacht and Toten in Black Ops 3, twice, once on Revelations, which basically was the whole thing. No, it was the whole thing, because Nacht and Toten is a small map, and we obviously got the remaster, and then we also got it in Transit, although Transit you can go upstairs, and Transit, I've never been, actually no, yeah, I have been in Nacht and Toten in Transit, but what I'm trying to say is there's been 5 proper recreations, and although you can go upstairs in the Transit one, that's still a recreation. So the reason Nacht isn't in here is, 1, I think it's a boring map. I'm being honest, I'm not even nostalgia talking, I just don't like the map. And 2, it's been recreated 5 times, that's so frustrating. 5 times, they could have picked any other map. I would, to be honest, if they didn't add in Nacht and Toten, I wouldn't have really mattered. If I could pick no Nacht or an Nacht, I'd probably go without Nacht, to be 100% honest, because I just get tired of Nacht all the time. But Shino Numa, I didn't add in Shino Numa, barely. Like Shino Numa, I love the map, I play it quite a lot. I went for a high round on it literally 2 days ago at the time of recording this video, but Shino Numa, so close. I was actually going to put Kino not in the top 5, Shino Numa 5th, but I thought Kino, although I'm not a big fan of the Black Ops 3 version, I've got to put it there anyway because I love the map, nostalgia and all that stuff talking. So Shino Numa, I keep saying Shangri-La, which you know what's going to come first if I said all the 3 World at War maps, but Shino Numa and Verrucht, I don't know what it is about Verrucht, it's like a map that I never really talk about. If you said all the maps in Zombies Chronicles, Verrucht is a map that I would forget. Verrucht is a map that it's just forgettable in my opinion. I know it added traps and it added all this stuff, and perks, it added perks as well, but Verrucht for me, and I know a lot of people disagree with what I'm saying because I hate Mob of the Dead, a lot of people like Mob of the Dead. My opinions are really like out of the ordinary, but Verrucht I just forget about so unbelievably much, so that is why Verrucht, Shino Numa, and of course Nacht and Toten are not in the top 5. But coming into our number 1 spot, as you can probably tell by the 3 maps I've just said, is Shangri-La. I nearly said Shino Numa again, I always get them words mixed up, but number 1, Shino Numa. I'm going to give you a quick disclaimer for the next part of this video because I've just listened to it and you cannot hear it. You know how last video I explained, like, because I talk fast anyway, everyone knows I talk fast. You know how I explained last video I had a rant and I went off on a tangent? This is worse. You cannot hear a word I'm saying throughout this. You would have to slow it down to like -500, like it is unbelievably fast, so you can try to work out what I'm saying, but I get through what somebody would normally take 5 minutes to get through in like 2 minutes 40 seconds. It's Shangri-La, man. I go off on a tangent. So anyway, hopefully you can enjoy and hopefully you can actually understand what I'm saying in this part. It's so funny. So Shangri-La, there's a load of good things about Shangri-La and I can just name them straight off the bat. First of all, it is the best looking map in Zombies, period, 100%. Not the most changed map, that goes to Moon. It's the second most changed map in Zombies Chronicles. The second most changed map in Zombies Chronicles, and now that it's got a Zombies Chronicles version, it is the best looking map. I would have put it like 3rd for the best looking maps even before Zombies Chronicles, and that is a BO1 map. Now it's in BO3. Beautiful, beautiful. It's got a unique pack-a-punch, the most unique pack-a-punch I would say out of any single pack-a-punch. You've got to do the tiles and then you've got to walk up to it, you get wished down, and that can kill zombies as well. That is brilliant, so it's like a trap and pack-a-punch in one, so that's 2 brilliant parts about it. It's also, like I said before, the second most changed map, so it's really, really changed, and it's a new experience, but it still sticks to the original, I don't know, parts of the map, if you will. It's changed as in scenery, and it looks much nicer, but it's still got the core aspects. Gobblegums, I know, do change the map a lot, but If you take away the Gobblegums, it's still the good old Shangri-La we know and love. Also, it's got the second best wand weapon out of all the zombies, so it comes second in a lot of places and then first in others, which is brilliant for a map. Most maps have got good points, bad points. Shangri-La I can only name first and second points at the minute, to be 100% honest. So, and we've also got the second best wand weapon in the game. I know I've just said that. The Apothicon Servant, the only one beating it. I think the Baby Ray is brilliant. The only bad thing about the Baby Ray is the fact that it gives you damage when you kick the zombies away, but the Baby Ray is so unbelievably good, and I don't know the name of it, but when it's Pack-a-Punch, the name gets even better. So that's like 4 or 5, I can't even count good parts about this, one or the other, I've lost count. And to top this all off, it was the first map to introduce 2 boss zombies. I'm pretty sure only one map's done that since, and that was Revelations, which Revelations is the most disgusting map of all time. It is the worst map in Black Ops 3 by far, excluding Nakdern, Toten or Verrückt. I don't even count them as Black Ops 3 maps, but the regular Black Ops 3 maps, it is the worst by far, even worse than the Giant, to be 100% honest, although that is a remake of Derice. I still prefer that. If they should have added Derice, they could have added a second Giant, it still would have been better than Revelations. Revelations is the worst map in Black Ops 3 Zombies. It's just copy and pasting everything from the past couple of maps, the past couple of DLCs in Black Ops 3. But enough about Revelations. They are the reasons why Shangri-La is the best map in Zombies. I've probably missed a few things off, to be honest. I've probably missed the random perk locations, which was either the first or one. I think it was the first map to actually randomise the perk locations. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was that as well. So that's another unique feature from Shangri-La. Shangri-La is a beautiful map. That is the main aspect of it. I keep saying so over and over again. It's so unbelievably beautiful. But anyway, this is going to be my top 5 favourite maps of all time in Call of Duty Zombies. If you disagree with this, or if you just agree in some aspects and not any other, just put down your top 5 favourite maps in Zombies Chronicles in the description below, and if you really feel inclined, put down your top 5 favourite maps of all time. I'll put my top 5 favourite maps of all time in the description below now, because it's definitely changed since my last top 5 favourite maps of all time. So, thank you for watching. Remember, do that in the comment section below, like if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.